I need to be streaming. For those of you who don't know who I am, Reverend Joanne Andrew Barrett Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. I am an holistic integrative teacher, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, card reader. And I serve and help women over 40, helping them to get strong and reminding them that weights are their friend. And I'm super excited to be here with you this evening to share again some insight regarding the energy that we are in. So just give me a moment to make sure I am streaming where I need to be streaming, and then you're going to have my undivided attention. So apparently I am on YouTube. So if you are tuning in from YouTube, please let me know that you are there. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, just go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, share it out, and you know what to do. All right, we're going to go over to Facebook land, and see that I am there. And I am. So what I'm going to ask that you do, as I will be doing, is I'm going to share this out, invite your friends to come take a listen. You never know what it is I'm going to say that may resonate with you. So just taking a moment and tapping on. Okay. See if some of my followers are around tonight. Bring them in. And we'll have an amazing conversation. Just hollering at one or two more people just to see what's going on. All right, so when you do get in and you are here with me, please let me know that you are here. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Again, if you are just hopping in, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barrett Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. And tonight's topic is a big topic. I'm going to be speaking on the energy of two planets and two zodiac signs. The first planet that I'm going to speak on is Mars in Cancer. Now, I do ask if you have your natal chart to have it out and available to you so you can follow along and better understand what's going on for you. After all, my whole purpose for why I come and spend some time with you is to help you navigate through your astrology chart so you can better understand what's actually going on in your life at this very moment. So following along with me, and if you are not astute with your astrology chart, maybe you really don't know how to read it or you don't understand it, as I did many years back when I first got my very first astrology chart, took a look at it and was just like, wow, it's really pretty, but really was clueless to what it all meant until I really sat with my mentor at the time for about hours at a time, him going through what all the little things, the houses, the planets, the lines, the degrees, etc. I got a better understanding. And over the last, oh my God, probably the last 5 or 7 years, have taken a deeper dive into astrology by studying medical astrology. And the big reason to why I chose medical astrology over any other study of astrology is based on my field. As a holistic personal trainer, I thought it was quite fitting to discuss more the medical aspects of astrology and how every planet, every house, every zodiac sign is definitely associated with your physical body, and how some signs and houses theoretically are more associated with your physical body. And when we think about the energy that I'm going to talk about tonight, that's exactly the direction we're going to be taking this into, not just your physical body, but also your emotional well-being, your career, your relationships, and everything in between. So as I was saying, tonight's topic is a potent time for women. I believe that's the title that I titled this. Let me just double check to just see. Yes, a potent time for women. And why is that? This is also going to obviously, the energy is obviously going to impact men as well. Again, being that I do focus more on women, helping them navigate and revolutionize their health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescription plans. We're going to gear towards them. However, if you're a man watching this, please Continue to watch, because I'm sure you know at least 3 or 4, if not more, women in your life that you can share this insight with them as well. So I'm going to dive right in. Let's talk a little bit about Mars energy. If you're not familiar with the planet Mars, Mars is a fire energy. The words I'm hearing is aggressive, it's assertive, it's action taking, it's the leader, it's the get up and go and do something. And no matter what zodiac sign Mars is in, that theoretically is the energy of Mars. And there are certain zodiac signs that Mars is really comfortable in, such as Aries for that matter, because Mars rules Aries, and Aries is also a fire sign as well. So theoretically, it's a comfortable positioning sitting in Aries. However, currently, we do have Mars sitting in Cancer. It's not so comfortable in Cancer. And why is it not so comfortable in Cancer? Primary reason is because Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is nurturing, a homebody, so to speak, very emotional, vulnerable, and known as the mama bear, so to speak. So when you take those two energies, Mars and Cancer, and sort of bring them together, it sort of makes Mars a little lazy when we think about it. Makes Mars vulnerable, makes Mars feel the feels, shall we say. And when we think about this energy that we have going on right now, that could very well be exactly what you're feeling. Now, a little history about Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon's energy, which again, it's a water sign, and it's about your feelings. Now, when we talk about the moon's energy, understand that the moon, out of all the planets, rotates more frequently than any of the other planets. In fact, the moon rotates every 2.5 days. So every 2.5 days, the moon is moving from a water sign into a fire sign, into an earth sign, into an air sign, which means every 2.5 days, you very well may be experiencing what I like to call a roller coaster ride of emotions. Because again, with the moon ruling Cancer, an emotional state of being, and when the moon enters into, let's say, fire, it's like that fire within you wants to get up and go, but because the moon rules Cancer energy, there's a dose of emotion that falls into play, and that is exactly what we're going to be experiencing with Mars in Cancer. So we think about Mars in Cancer, like I said, not very comfortable there. Doesn't really enjoy being in Cancer. And in this energy of Mars being in Cancer, like I said, every 2.5 days, the moon is going to be shifting. Right now, the moon is actually in Cancer. So it's very comfortable there. And you yourself may be feeling your feels a lot more so. Now, there's one thing I do want to put out there. For those of you who carry a sun, moon, or ascending sign in Cancer, this is going to be a very comfortable ride for you because you already know what it feels like to be in your feelings. Because you're emotional, you're sensitive, you're nurturing, you're that mama bear. So you know what it is to feel your feels. However, somebody that may have their moon in Aries or their moon in Sagittarius or Scorpio, this energy may be a little challenging for you. However, I want you to pay attention to this energy that we have going on. I want to give you a little history about this energy, where for most of our planets, especially the closer planets such as Mars, Venus, and Mercury, those planets tend to move from one zodiac sign to another at a much faster pace than, let's say, Pluto or Neptune or Saturn or Uranus. Those are further out planets, so they spend a little longer time in a zodiac sign. So when we think about Mars being in Cancer, with this particular energy, if you think back to, I think it was like 2020, if I'm not mistaken, when Mars set in Gemini, at that point in time where we had that that experience where Mars was in Gemini for almost 7 months, and now we have Jupiter in Gemini. Well, a big part of that Mars in Gemini plays a big role on Jupiter in Gemini now. But I'm going to put that on the back burner for right now because I really want you to stay focused on Mars in Cancer. So Mars entered Cancer as of September. Trying to read my notes. As of September, why don't I have my notes here? This is just so funny. This is so funny. I literally wrote it down and I've lost it. Anyway, let me get those. Oh, there you go. I can't even read my own handwriting. That's really funny. Mars entered Cancer September 22nd, which is very new. And when we think of the number 22, number 22, for those of you aware of numerology, is a master number. 22 is the master builder. And think of Mars in Cancer as just that, building something. Now, Mars is going to actually stay in Cancer until April 18th of 2025. Now, that's a long time. Let's do the math. Since I can't do math in my head, I'm going to use my fingers. So what do we have? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 7 months. A 7-month period where we're going to experience Mars in Cancer. Now, don't get too overwhelmed or too excited. Mars is not going to stay in Cancer the entire 7-month period. Mars is going to go through a process of moving into Leo, moving back into Leo for that matter, and then retrograding again into Cancer. And that's what we're going to have. We're going to have this back and forth between Cancer and Leo. And a big bulk of this energy will be Cancer energy, especially during its retrograde. So if you want to grab a pen and paper to write some of these dates down, just so you're aware of it, I suggest you do. So again, Mars entered Cancer as of September 22nd. It's literally, 2 days old? We'll be in this energy until November 3rd. Now, I just want to double check something, because I always like to have my facts together as I pull out my wonderful calendar. Yes. So as of November 3rd, Mars is going to transit to Leo. Now, if you know anything about Leo, Leo is fire. Leo is fun. Leo is courageous. Leo is freedom. Leo is change. Leo is also unpredictability. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun's energy. So that itself, that period of time where we're going to have Mars in Leo, is going to be a time where we are going to feel courageous. We're going to be, the word I'm hearing is rambunctious. Because again, Mars is fire, Leo is fire. So there's going to be a lot of let's get going movement, so to speak. I want you to pay attention to that. Another thing I want to just clarify before I go further, as I sit here, just hold a sec. Holding a sec. It's just so much to go on. Yes. Yeah. So, and then as of December 6th, Mars will retrograde in Leo. Mars will retrograde in Leo. So we're going to have that retrograde period to review Mars being in Leo. What we need to change. Where do we want our freedom? What action do we want to take so we can get the freedom we're looking for? Are we ready to be courageous? Are we ready to take those bold movements and steps to get us to where we want to go? So before I share the next set of dates with you, just want to take a peek at some of the comments that I see here. I see we have Anne here, so it's lovely. Hello, Anne. Nice to see you here. And then there's a comment here as well. I wish you would let other people see your videos instead of just keeping them on private feeds. Yes, I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to check into my YouTube page to find out why my YouTube is showing up as private. So my apologies for that, Liz. I'm going to do my best to take a peek at that to make sure I can change that. Because yes, I definitely want these videos to be out and about and being seen. So yeah. So thank you, Liz, for that information. I appreciate. Liz, you do know that you can share this onto your page as well now that you're watching it, assuming you're still watching it. And those of you who are watching with me, do me a favor and share this out. Let your friends know that I'm here. Let them know that I'm chatting about this energy, this inspiring energy. After all, I always believe that when we have a planet that's literally retrograding back and forth between two zodiac signs, there's lots of things that's going to come through this energy that we do have. So now I'm going to bring to you the second set of dates for you. So we already know that as of November 3rd, Mars is going to back into Leo, move into Leo. Not back into, but move into Leo. And we'll stay there from November 3rd through December 6th, and then begin its retrograde in Leo. From December 6th through January 6th, that period of time, Mars will literally be in Leo in a retrograde. And then we're going to backspin back into Cancer as of January 6th through February 3rd. Cancer will be Mars will be retrograde in Cancer energy. And through that entire period, right through February 23rd, going through April 18th, Mars will then go direct as of February 23rd. So the back and forth, Cancer going into Leo and then coming back into Cancer again. So paying attention. And here's what I really want you to pay attention to with this energy. I want you to look at your natal chart and see where you have Cancer on your natal chart. Because that's where Mars is going to be transiting during this period of time before it moves into Leo and then transfers back into Cancer again. So for me, I happen to have Cancer in my 12th and my first house. That's where Cancer sits for me. So because of that, during this Mars energy, that 12th house for me is all about my higher consciousness. It's about releasing secrets, letting secrets out. It's about the wisdom that shows up. 12th house is associated with Pisces energy, so it's the intuition, it's the psychic abilities, it's the spiritual gifts that flow through. And with Mars sitting there, this is going to give me that energy to take some action with Mars sitting there. Now, once Mars retrogrades in Cancer, there's going to be more of a reflection. The same for you. So if you are watching this with me and you happen to know where Cancer is on your chart, what house Cancer is in, that is where Mars is going to play at least until November 3rd. It's going to play in that energy from November 3rd through December 6th. It's going to move into this Leo energy. So I want you to pay attention to that. Now, how I'm going to bring this into the format of your physical body. Because when we think about Cancer energy, from my perspective and how I teach astrology based on the medical aspects of things and the metaphysical aspects of things, is when I speak of Cancer, I speak of the 4th house as 3 elements. And the 3 elements are your family, your career, and your physical body. Because when we think of Cancer, it's home. It's feeling at home with family, feeling at home with the work that you're doing, your soul's purpose, and feeling at home in your physical body. Now, this will be a perfect opportunity for you during this time with Mars being in Cancer to really make some serious changes regarding your routines and habits that you have surrounding your physical body. This is an opportunity for you to literally think about how do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to feel in your own body? This is definitely an opportunity to pay attention to what changes you want to adapt into. So thinking about that, this is really about movement. This is about transitions. This is about transformation. This is giving you the opportunity to come off maybe the yo-yo diets, to come off the maybe some childhood beliefs, some the words I'm hearing is childhood stigmas that you may have regarding what it is to be in your own body. So when we think about this Mars and Cancer energy during this period of time, before it begins its retrograde. Now, of course, before it begins its retrograde, we're going to have this beautiful journey with Mars moving into Leo, helping you to make some changes. So again, just as I'm asking you to take a look at where you have Cancer on your chart, what house is Cancer in? What house is Leo in? Because once Mars moves into Leo, it's going to transit that placement. And again, when we speak on Leo is about change. Leo is about having more freedom, feeling more freedom in your own body, having the freedom to make choices for yourself, having the freedom to advocate for yourself. What works for you? And allowing yourself to tap into your intuition, your psychic abilities, your higher knowing, and your higher understanding of connecting with your body and creating a different or healthier relationship with food, that you can literally have this conversation with the food, the nutrients. Will this serve my body today to eat X, Y, and Z? And checking in. As opposed to being supported or guided by a nutritionist or a coach, giving yourself permission to advocate. Because I like to believe, and I'm hoping that you will agree, that no one knows your body better than you. So I want you to sit with that for just a minute. I want you to think about that just for 1 minute. That no one knows your body better than you. So if no one knows your body better than you, wouldn't you be your best advocate in regards to what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you? Excuse me. This is a process of also working on changing your belief system, changing your philosophies, changing some habits. Now, I want to read some notes that I took based on today's conversation about Mars energy. How this is a potent time for women. And why do I say it's a potent time for women? To start off with, when we compare men to women, women happen to be naturally intuitive. We don't really have to work on our intuition. Women tend to be a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more empathic. So this is a really potent time for women to step up their game and to step into their vulnerability and to become the leader of their own body, to accept the fact that if you give yourself time and you allow yourself to really tap into your higher wisdom, and you allow yourself to go within, you know exactly everything you need to help your body be healthy, because it's all within you. It's just that unfortunately over the years, and I can only speak on the years that I've been on this earth, I'm 54, and I've been in the health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness industry since I'm 12. And since I'm 12, there has been so many different influences encouraging different beliefs on us in regards to the right and wrong foods, the best exercises, the worst exercises. And when it really comes down to it, specifically for us women over 40, it's really important to start to get to know your physical body, to create a really good relationship with your physical body. Start to become aware of how your body responds to certain foods, whether it's sweet food, salty food, whatever it is. I truly believe there's a place for it all, because depending on the season we're in, and when I speak on season, I'm not speaking on fall, winter, summer, and spring. I am really speaking on the season you're in regards to the chapter and cycle you're in right now, what you may be going through emotionally speaking. And that could be the very thing that could be the blueprint to why your body may be craving certain foods, salty food or sweet food, or meats, or more carbohydrates. So becoming more aware of that connection you have with your physical body and the connection you have with food, a better relationship with food. So you can better understand why you may be in that season where suddenly out of the blue you find yourself wanting or needing or craving the piece of cheese, or wanting or needing or craving the piece of cake. There are reasons for this. And with this energy that we have with Mars and Cancer, this is a perfect opportunity for you to start exploring this relationship you have with your physical body and the relationship you have with food. And maybe even asking yourself, what is your relationship with food? What is your relationship with food? Now, many of you follow me on a regular basis, so you know that as a holistic personal trainer, I work with clients. I've been working with clients for over 40 years. And the one thing I've come to learn for women is that most women have a really challenging time with food. In fact, with eating more food, where most women have this belief that if we ate more food, that we're going to get fat. And that's a belief we need to really let go of, because that is not the case. If eating more food does not mean you're going to get fat. So it's understanding that, okay, if you have a slice of bread, that the bread is going to make you bloated. Or if you have rice or potatoes or pasta, it's going to make you bloated. It's redefining the relationship you have, and understanding the process behind the emotional connection at the time that you're eating what you're going to eat. What is the story along the lines of how you're nurturing your body? So when we think about Mars being in Cancer, the best parts of Mars being in Cancer is about being brave and being direct. When I use the word being brave, it's about really being brave enough to be courageous, to have a sit down with yourself and start asking yourself those deep questions in regards to what is the relationship you have with your body. Are you comfortable in your own skin? What do you like about your body? And I'll go out on a limb and say, what do you dislike about your body? And there's going to be probably a good chance you're going to give me a whole list of things you dislike about your body, and you may find one or two things that you like about your body. And when I speak of your body, I'm not speaking about your hair, I'm not speaking about your eyes, I'm not speaking about your nails. I'm speaking about your body, like literally the size of your body, the shape of your body, what your arms look like, what your back looks like, what your sides look like, what your midsection looks like. What does your cheeks look like? What does your jaw look like? What does your neck look like? Falling in love with all of that. And then once you can establish that relationship with your physical body and what you like and what you dislike, now the things you may dislike about it, then the question is, can you be brave enough and courageous enough during this Mars in Cancer season to work on reshaping and transforming. Now, again, I'm going to go back to your natal chart. Pay attention to where Cancer is on your chart. What house is Cancer in? So let's say you have Cancer in your second house. So if you have Cancer in your second house is associated with the relationship with your body. It's how you value your body, and it's the connection and relationship you also have with money. So if you have Cancer in your second house, Mars is transiting that second house energy. So this could be a perfect time for you to establish some sort of routine with a personal trainer, where you can get on this new routine to creating a stronger and healthier body. Not in reference to focusing on dieting or wanting to lose X amount of weight, but really more about reshaping and transforming the weight that you're in right now. So if you weigh 150 pounds, it's not about, well, you want to lose weight. It's really about how can you reshape the weight. So again, those who have Cancer in the second house, this could be a great opportunity for you to invest into your body. Invest in looking into your nutrition and seeing, can you make some changes with the food you're eating? Can you make some changes with how frequently you're eating? Can you make some changes with your portion sizes? Can you make some changes with bringing more balance into fueling and feeding your body? Because understanding that when we talk about fueling the body, fueling is the energy, which is the calories that we take in. So if you are watching every calorie you're consuming, and perhaps you're keeping your calories under a certain number, maybe a calorie deficit, you may be under eating the amount of calories that your body actually really needs in order to transform. Which then it's almost like you're sabotaging yourself from the very thing you're looking to do, because you're under eating calories. So let's just say, for example, without including any type of physical activity. So we're not even talking strength training, progressive overload. We're just literally talking getting up every day, sitting at your kitchen table or your desk or wherever you do your physical work, your 9 to 5 job, and you're sitting and doing just that. Or we'll take it one step further. A day where you do absolutely nothing. You lay in bed all day. You rest all day. Resting all day is still going to require you to need a certain amount of calories in order for your organs to function, for your blood to flow, for your heart to beat. Excuse me. Literally, for your internal organs to function, your body needs between 900 to 1,200 calories a day, even if you're just laying in bed. Now, if you're only consuming 1,200 calories in your day and you're up and about doing physical activities, just think about how your body's in a state of hibernation. Your body is storing those 1,200 calories because your body has absolutely no idea when you're going to feed it again to keep it nourished. So under eating the amount of calories your body really needs sabotages the results you're looking to get, which is actually causing you to be fatter as opposed to healthier. So think about that. Think about that. Think about this process. And then the other thing I want you to think about in the process of connecting with your physical body, when you are eating the minimum amount of calories that you were eating, how do you feel energetically? Do you feel like you have energy to do your daily tasks? Do you feel like you have the brain power to do your work? Do you feel like you have brain fog? Because when you're under eating the amount of calories your body actually really needs, you're going to have brain fog because you're not getting enough energy to your brain for you to be productive. And under eating calories actually causes a hormonal imbalance. So again, using this energy that we have with Mars being in Cancer, this is a perfect opportunity, especially again for you ladies who have Mars and Cancer in your second house. This is a time where you can really think about investing in your health, hiring a personal trainer to help you put together a program so you can create the right program for you. And when I use the word the right program for you, the right prescription plan for you, meaning what dosage of strength training do you need? What dosage of meditation do you need? What dosage of energy work do you need? What dosage of yoga / stretching do you need? What dosage of cardiovascular fitness do you need? What dosage of rest do you need? What dosage of hydration do you need? What's your dosage of nutrition do you need? How much protein? How much carbs? How much fat do you need? The right prescription plan that's going to actually help you reshape and transform your physical body. So paying attention to that. So for those of you who do have Cancer in second house, this is a perfect time to invest on your health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescription plan so you can become a stronger, healthier version of you. So now, as I said, the best part of Mars being in Cancer is being brave and direct, speaking your truth, being honest with yourself, letting go of the beliefs and the philosophies that you have about your physical body, about the relationship you have with food or lack of relationship you have with food. Now, the worst part of Mars being in Cancer is literally throwing tantrums or getting passively aggressive. Because again, Mars is fire. Mars is action. Mars is I want to get up and do something. Cancer is vulnerable, quiet, sensitive, nurturing, the healer, the one that checks in on everybody, the mama bear. So bringing these two energies together could cause for a rocky ride. So understanding where you have Cancer on your chart, what house it's in, because then that can give you a better understanding to where Mars is going to be transiting during this time. And then again, as I've said, as of November 3rd, Mars will enter into Leo. And knowing where Leo is, which is going to be the house directly after Cancer, that's going to help you as well. So, and then of course during the retrograde cycle is to review what needs to be reviewed for you. Another house I wanted to talk a little bit about as well, when we speak about the physical body, when we speak about if you have Cancer in 6th house. Cancer in 6th house, a little bit about 6th house energy. 6th house is about physical fitness. It's about health. It's about your nervous system. It's about nurturing you. It's about your routines. It's about organization. It's about your schedule. So if you happen to have Cancer in 6th house, Mars will be sitting in your 6th house energy, helping you to again adapt into a healthier health and fitness program. Helping you to adapt into a routine, getting yourself first on your schedule. Especially during that retrograde cycle, this is going to be a review in regards to what you need to let go of so you can make more time for you. Now, I heard a very interesting statement earlier today for us women over 40 who, quote unquote, talk about perimenopause or menopause. This is a perfect time with Mars being in Cancer to review how much you are rushing, going here, going there, going there. Specifically, again, for those who have Cancer in their 6th house, this is a perfect time to review your schedule And maybe a perfect time to start slowing down, bringing more meditation into your practice, bringing more walks into your practice in nature. And when I use the word more walks, it's not about walking where you're looking to burn calories, but getting out into nature so you can become more calm and relaxed. You want to find things that's going to help you ground your energy and be more relaxed and calm and peaceful so you can experience more joy. Your body can experience more joy as well. In fact, even being out in nature and doing your exercises out in nature, grab your sets of your free weights, bring them outside and do your exercises outside. No one says you need to do the traditional workout in a gym. Take your weights and bring them outside. For those of you who have your Cancer in your sixth house, this is a perfect opportunity. Maybe out of your X amount of days that you are doing your strength training progressive overload, that you take maybe one of those days and you create a program that you can actually take your weights outside and connect with nature. So you can allow yourself that time to just be one with nature, to calm yourself down. Because again, the process of constantly rushing, when we talk about the sixth house energy, it's your nervous system. The one thing we women over 40 need to do is to get our nervous system to calm down, to get our nervous system to relax, so we're not overly anxious. Because again, Mars, action, fire, aggressiveness, want to go, the leader, gotta do. How often do you find yourself saying, gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this? Being in that masculine energy doesn't work really well for your physical body, because your physical body does need time for resting and recovering and rejuvenation. Otherwise, again, it's another flight or fight moment where your body is constantly in that space of fighting and in flight and fight, because it's constantly on the go. So again, this is a perfect opportunity for us, all of us women, to really start reviewing. How often are we on the go? Where are we rushing to? Some of us even rush while we eat. That fork or spoon just never gets put down. You never take the time to put the fork to your mouth, rest it down, and chew your food and enjoy the food. Because again, it comes back to the relationship you have with food. Are you enjoying the moment of when you literally sit down to eat? Or is it that you give yourself 15 minutes to eat and then you got to go do the next thing? Again, this Mars and Cancer energy is a perfect opportunity to allow yourself to just sort of regroup, especially those who have Cancer in that sixth house energy, because that's about your home, your physical body. And when we speak of home, your physical home, your shelter, how is your home set up? So you can have this calm and peace and relaxation in your home, so you can feel more calm and relaxed and with your physical body. Another house placement I like to talk about is the fourth house. So if you happen to have Cancer in the fourth house, know that Mars will be transiting the fourth house, and that's home. Fourth house is very much associated, ruled by Cancer energy. That's home, that's empathy, that's nurturing, that's healing, that's calmness, that's vulnerability. Bringing things in that space. The best part of it is just, again, being brave and very direct with yourself in reference to what you really need. Getting to your needs. Getting to your needs. So paying attention to this energy that we're in. I'm just reading some notes here. I love that. So Anne said she's been snacking on Jell-O, which theoretically, when we think of it in regards to Jell-O, Jell-O is Jell-O. However, I recommend when we snack or when we eat I like to believe every meal should be equal in regards to the amount of calories we're consuming, because again, we have an overall calorie intake to take in for the entire day. And we want to divide those calories up in multiple meals throughout the day. So we want to make sure that every meal that we're having, including our snacks, are giving us the ample amount of calories we need. And we have to pay attention to that, because if you have that one little snack, such as Ann does, that's having Jello, I'm not really quite sure how many calories is in a little bowl of Jello and what the nutrients is in Jello, but maybe putting some other nutrients in with that Jello to make it something more balanced. Because again, the food that we're consuming is the energy that we're using to fuel our body. So we really want to pay attention to what it is we're putting into our body. And it may not sound like a big deal, but it is a big deal, because again, if you have one meal or one snack, excuse me, where you're only consuming something like 60 calories or 100 calories, then what's going to end up happening in the next meal or the meal after that, you're going to have to make sure you have a little more calories to make sure you're getting the amount of calories you need in your day. So a part of this Mars Cancer season is about taking care of your physical body, taking the action, becoming curious to know how to nurture your physical body. Because again, a lot of this is about letting go of the old belief system, letting go of specific habits that you may have. For example, if you are somebody that doesn't have breakfast in the morning, that for whatever your reasons are, at some point in your time, past being the age of, let's say, 7, you've decided that breakfast was not your thing, and you do not have breakfast. Now let's look at the concept on the word breakfast. Literally take the word breakfast and separate it. Break fast. Now I know there has been some research over the last couple of years in whether or not the word breakfast, separating it, break fast, is actually a thing or not. But let's look at it this way. If you just spent the last, give and take, 6 to maybe 9 hours where you were sleeping, you're already in a fast. You've given your digestive system time and your liver time to sort of go into a fast. And then you get up and you're going to get your day going with nothing to fuel, no energy to do what you need to do. So what ends up happening because of that is you create this sluggish energy going on throughout the rest of your day, because of the fact of not having something, as I like to say, within the first hour to 2 hours of waking. So you can break the fast from the night before. And keeping in mind, the process here is understanding and knowing how many calories you actually need to consume for the day in order to know how many calories you want to have at each meal in your day. I'm a firm believer that the ideal woman who is doing strength training progressive overload should theoretically be eating anywhere between 4 to 6 times a day. Small portions, 4 to 6 times a day, balanced out between your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. 4 to 6 times a day. Now that's general. Now, if you want to specifically know for you what is the right prescription plan for you based on your calorie intake, that is something you and I would need to do, to sit down to have a conversation about, so I can better understand your activity load and your strength training progressive overload, which is a big portion of the understanding concept of how your body is going to respond and how your body is going to reshape and transform based on the nutrients and the fuel you're providing it with. So I'm going to table the Mars Cancer conversation. I'm going to take again another look at whatever comments that are showing up. And then I'm going to briefly talk a little bit about Venus in Scorpio, because that's a big player as well, especially right now when we think about Libra season. So I just want to take a look at the comments. Okay. All right. So I want to say hello to everybody that's popping in right now with me. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. It's just about 11:15. We're going to be wrapping it up really soon. So this way here, gather your notes together. If you have questions, feel free, if you're watching from Facebook, to put your questions in the comments, since I am watching from my phone, whatever questions that are showing up. If you are watching through YouTube, you can also put your questions in the comments as well, because I can pick up that page as well. If you are watching through Twitter, I ask that you email healingwithin76@gmail.com and put those questions there, and I'll be more than happy to get back and respond to those questions. So as we move into the next planet and zodiac sign, Venus. Venus in Scorpio. Now, I just want to double check my notes here, because my writing is awful. I mean, awful. So let me just double check something. I'm in December. Just want to double check. Just want to double check, because I think my date for Mars in Cancer was wrong, and that's okay. Yes, Mars in Cancer actually went into effect as of September 4th. My writing is awful. Let me make sure that's really clear. All right. So just to backtrack just for a moment, Mars entered Cancer September 4th. We'll be there till November 3rd. And then on November 3rd, Mars will move into Leo until December 6th and begin into retrograde in Leo until January 6th of 2025. And then on January 6th, we'll then back spin, I like to use that word, into Cancer in its retrograde until February 23rd. And then as of February 23rd, we'll then move forward in Cancer until April 18th of 2025. I know that's a lot to take in, but come back and rewatch the video and write down the dates and etc., etc. So we're going to move on to Venus. Venus, the planet of love, relationships, value, and your physical body, which is why I thought it would be so appropriate to have a conversation about Venus as I'm speaking about Mars in Cancer. Because Venus is really about your physical body. It's how you value your physical body. It's also about your physical material possessions, but our primary factor for tonight, our primary focus for tonight, is the relationship you have with your body and how you value that relationship with your body. I want to read something to you before I give you the date of Venus in Scorpio. Something to ponder. Just got to get back to my notes because I wrote a lot of notes today. So here's what I want you to ponder. Can you permit yourself to fall in love with the body you're in and surrender to calorie deficits, restrictions, and limitations, and control? And control. This is a big thing to think about. I'm gonna read that again. Can you permit yourself to love your body and surrender calorie deficits, restrictions, limitations, and control? Just want you to sit with that. Because that itself is a humongous, humongous process to go through. Yes. So I just wanted to take that in for just a second, just reviewing some final notes before I move on and talk to you about this Venus energy. So, Venus energy. Venus in Scorpio. As I already explained to you with Venus, what Venus is all about, your relationship with others, relationship with your physical body, and how you value the relationship with your physical body. Valuing the relationship with your physical body, what does that look like for you? Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio is about transformation. And I'm literally going to just use that one word, transformation. Venus in Scorpio began September 22nd, which was just a few days ago, and goes until October 17th. Yes, October 17th. So we're going to have this very short window. What is that, like 3 weeks? Where we have Venus sitting in Scorpio. So just as I said to you regarding looking at your placement for Cancer to see what house that's in, look at your placement for Scorpio. What house is Scorpio in? Because that's where Venus is going to transit for you. That's where all this energy about how you value your physical body is going to show up for you. So it's the same concept when we talk about the sixth house. Sixth house doesn't change no matter what sign it's in. So if you have Cancer in your sixth house or you have Scorpio in your sixth house, it's about your nervous system. It's about your physical body. It's about physical fitness. It's about your routine. It's about your schedule. It's about organizing your space. That's sixth house energy. So if you happen to have Scorpio in your sixth house, this is a perfect time for you to really evaluate how can you let go of whatever is preventing you from really being in your body. This could be a perfect time to declutter your space so you can make space in your home so you can religiously, diligently, consistently, and disciplinedly take care of your physical body. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to go buy a whole bunch of equipment to take care of your physical body. You can go and right online, you could buy yourself what they call adjustable dumbbells that I believe goes up to like 30, 35 pounds. I mean, nowadays you can even get a flat bench that moves into an incline and a decline, I think for like $50. And set yourself up a little home gym so you could take care of your physical body. So when we think of the Venus and Scorpio energy, on top of that Mars and Cancer energy, this is a perfect time to take care of you, to transform, to love the body you're in, to transition. Let go of old habits and philosophies and beliefs about your weight. Get into that mindset that you can reshape the weight that you're in. Stop thinking that you need to go on a calorie deficit or you have to be on a diet or you can't have carbs or you have to walk 10,000 steps a day. Again, for my ladies over 40, you got to get into that space where you start slowing yourself down mentally and physically. Because when you're constantly rushing and going and going and going, that taxes the body. Now, If you happen to have, I don't even know what they call it. I'm going to call it a Fit Watch. Most iPhones, I think Androids have them too, where you can track your active calories. You set it, you put your information in it, your weight, your height, I think, your age, and you turn it on, and it tracks everything you do. My suggestion would put it more in when you are going to set it, to put it in, I think it's training mode versus walking mode. And just out of curiosity, if you have a watch that allows you to do that, track yourself for 7 days. In your 7 days, I'm sure you have a day where you're not as active as you are on other days. And track it just to see how many calories you're expanding in the course of your day, even just by sitting on your couch. Become aware, become knowledgeable, become astute to how many calories you're exerting. And then once you have an understanding of how many calories you're exerting, then you can start to get a better understanding to how many calories your body actually needs to fuel it. So we are in a powerful time right now. For us women, this is a potent time for women to really take charge, get brave, get curious, to step into your power, to start giving yourself permission to love the body you're in. Give yourself permission to nourish the body you're in. Give yourself permission to fuel your body you're in. Remember, when we think of fuel in parentheses, no, it's calories. It's energy. It's energy. If you feel tired, or you have brain fog, or even depression for that matter, it could just very well be you are not providing nutrients to your body. Learning how to balance the specific food groups and getting them into your day so you can take care of yourself. Yes. So, to conclude, because we are at 5 minutes to 11, and I have absolutely no idea how long I've been on. I think I've been on for about an hour. To conclude, the energies that we have going on, our planets are always working for us. Our planets are always supporting us on our journey. I always love to bring the combination of astrology and our bodies physically together. I want to bring one more little piece into this equation based on numerology. Today, in the last hours that we have, 2424 portal works out to be our 6-6 energy. We're back to our 6 again. This is about your physical body. This is about taking care of your nervous system. This is about taking care of your central system. This is about taking care of your cellular system. This is about taking care of your chakra system. This is about taking care of your physical body, your physical fitness, your wellness, your nutrition, your spiritual being. That's what this is about. This is your time now with these planets that are closest to us, Mars, Venus, and even Mercury. And I haven't even touched on Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. I'll leave that for a different line. But just with Mars in Cancer, Venus in Scorpio, understanding that when we think about Mars in Cancer, Venus in Scorpio, we have both of those planets sitting in water energy. And we already know that water is an emotional being. Water is an emotional energy. Water is being in our feelings. And again, as I said earlier, Cancer is ruled by the moon's energy. The moon rotates every 2.5 days. So every 2.5 days, you're moving out of water, you're moving into fire, you're moving into earth, you're moving into air. Every 2.5 days. Right now, the moon is currently in Cancer. amplifying Mars and Cancer. That conjunction between the two, they're working together, feeling your feels. This could be this energy of Mars and Cancer and Venus and Scorpio could be a very strong emotional roller coaster for you, which is one of the reasons why paying attention to taking care of your physical body is so potent for you right now. You have the planets supporting you. And depending on where each of these planets are transiting on your chart, where you have Cancer, where you have Scorpio on your chart, will give you a theme to what these two energies are helping you with. So again, if you're not familiar with your natal chart and you would like to learn more about your natal chart, perhaps you may want to do a one-on-one class with me, or maybe you want to sign up for my 12-week astrological and numerology makeup course that will start up in, I believe it's February. If you would like to participate in that class, please reach out to me to let me know. If you would like to take one-on-one classes with me, I offer that as well. Because I would love for you to better understand your natal chart so you can navigate through this energy that we're experiencing. So you can use this energy to help you, especially when our planets go retrograde. A retrograde cycle just means it's time to review, time to reboot, time to rejuvenate, time to rewire, and maybe even time to release. So again, concluding for the night. Where do you have Cancer on your chart? Where do you have Scorpio on your chart? Take a look at those two placements. Where you have Cancer on your chart, Mars is transiting that. Where you have Scorpio on your chart, Venus is transiting that. So take a look at them. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is an extremely potent time for us women. This is a great time for you to really reshape and transform your physical body without a calorie deficit, a diet, or tracking your footsteps. To learn more about revolutionizing your health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescription plan, please reach out to me. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. I'd like to invite you to come join me. I have a Women Empowering Women private group on Facebook. Meets the second Monday of the month. Our second meeting takes place on October 14th. It's a 6-month membership, and of course you could pay month to month in the membership. If this is something you would like to come and attend, to get support, to network, to collaborate, to be accountable, to share. There's so much that goes on in this group. If you would like to become a part of that group, please email, or if you're watching from Facebook, go ahead and message me. Let me know you would like to sign up for the 6-month Women Empowering Women group. We have an amazing speaker coming in for October, and we're going to be speaking. This discussion is going to start off with organizing, decluttering, reshaping, and then however it unfolds from that point on. So once again, I thank you so much for spending your night with me, leaving your comments as I'm looking at some of the comments that are here. And if you are watching this on the replay, I would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. And until we meet again on the other side, have yourself an amazing, amazing Tuesday night as the night's almost over, getting ready to move into Wednesday. Until we meet again, bye-bye for now.